please.
New York Yankees send Adam Ottavino to the Boston Red Sox in
Let's go, buddy.
a rare trade between rivals. This was just the second trade since 1987 between the rivals when New York obtained infielder Stephen Drew from
Steven.
Stephen Curry. Stephen Drew. Steven.
It's
This is Steven, but it's spelled like Stephen.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's two different spellings.
So
No, you spell it the same way, but you pronounce it different ways.
That's
depending on
fucked
really?
up.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna know how to pronounce it?
You don't.
It's up to
I
you.
assume the PH is always Stephen unless they say Stefan or Stefan or whatever.
Well, Stefan would be different.
Yeah, Stefan is different. Stefan.
This is how they spell
Stefan Diggs is
Stephen
different.
Curry.
See how he spells it?
It's
just-
PH.
It's like Steven.
Steven.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Stephen.
but that's how Stephen Curry.
He's
Yeah.
like a rarity.
There are a few people named Stefan, but like most people with a PH
Not
name
that
is
rare.
Stephen.
It's very rare.
It's pretty rare.
It's rare.
What are the other pronunciations of it?
Steven Stevens.
Probably like 3%, Stefan.
Even Stevens?
Oh, see?
Even Steven.
What? You can spell Stephen two ways. Spell the V and a PH.
See, that's what I was trying to tell you.
What?
You can spell it different ways.
Yeah. Okay. Steven
Steven.
Stephen Drew.
when New York
Stephen
obtained
Drew.
infielder Stephen Drew from Boston on 2014 for infielder-outfielder Kelly Johnson. It was the first Yankees-Red Sox trade since Boston dealt first baseman catcher Mike Stanley to New York for pitcher Tony Armas Jr. and a player to be named, who became pitcher Jim
Messer.
Messer.
Mesa.
Yeah, there's only been two trades since 1987.
Stephen Drew, one
between-
big-
Coincidence? I think not.
Hey, you don't want him? We'll take him.
Why do you think there hasn't been that many trades? Because they're rivals and
Yes.
they don't like each
They
other?
fucking hate each other, so yeah.
All right. That's
Do you see Belichick trading with the Jets?
we almost got what's his name?
I copied that quote, the last quote from ESPN, and they got so many things wrong in that.
They did?
Yeah, it
Not surprising.
wasn't Tony Armas Jr. It was Tony Armas Sr. Jr. never played for. Wait, not yeah.
Whoa.
Wait, neither
Whoa.
of them were traded unless he was a prospect. Hold on, I'm confused.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Fact check ESPN.
Check the tape.
I'm checking. Okay, Tony
Check the
Armas
tape.
Jr. Oh, I stand corrected. They were right.
Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, ESPN, for doubting
right
you.
again.
Damn.
Yeah.
Don't give them more credit than they need.
All right, what do you guys think about this?
I like the trade.
I like the move.
I like it. We need bullpen help.
Gave up
Ottavino's
nothing, right?
nasty.
Gave
Gave
up
up nothing. Gave up cash considerations.
Yeah.
Cash
He
considerations.
gave him prospect.
Play to be named.
No, he's named.
Oh.
What's his name?
His name is.
It said player to be named.
Let me look it up.
So what's his name?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
That whole player to be named later thing is kind of fishy to me.
I don't
Frank
know what the fuck that
German.
means.
Like, do they just
Who?
pick later?
Frank German or Herman.
How does that
Fuck
work?
Fuck.
So it's a player. It's the way player of the name to be named
Dakota
later
Herman?
works. Is that sometimes the players will.
I wonder how
You'll just
Dakota's
make a
doing.
trade, and you'll be like, "This is." They'll give you like a list of players that you can trade for later, and if you want to see like how some of them develop or something like that.
So
or-
they can pick.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's like a list of.
All
Like
right,
they
that
give you
makes
like, okay,
sense.
we'll give you like these 5 guys.
You're right. You almost fell over there, buddy.
Sometimes it can be a player for themselves. A player has been traded for themselves before. Frank Thomas, not the one that you know, another Frank Thomas in like the 70s or 80s or 60s, was traded and for a player to be named later, and that player to be named later was himself. And so he was traded for himself.
What?
What?
How does that make any sense?
So they trade him, and then like a couple months later,
He was on the list?
The fuck?
Well, so that's theoretically a different trade.
it's the same trade.
What?
Maybe it wasn't Frank Thomas. It was someone else. Someone with
Why
another
the
name.
fuck would you trade for yourself?
Ted Williams.
All right, can we trade Casey away?
For
And then get him
myself?
back? Yeah. And bring him- and
No,
then
Harry
bring him back?
Cheedy is the guy. Harry Cheedy. No, I got confused with that.
Oh,
Harry
okay.
Cheedy was in
Harry
1962
Cheedy.
was traded to the
Cheetos?
Cleveland Indians.
Real or fake?
Real. This is real.
Harry Cheating.
Harry Cheedy.
That would be a good one.
That would have been a good one.
That would be a good one. So he was traded from the Cleveland Indians to the New York Mets for a player to be named later, and that player turned out to be himself.
How does that work?
They gave him back. They just said the player to be named later will be you, and he was the player to be named later.
Does that make any sense?
Oh, wait a minute. I know how this could work. It's like if you want that guy and they don't want to give up somebody that they don't care about giving back to you, some shit like that. Right? Is that how that works? Here's the thing: if we
Well, they
trade,
got
if
him, and then they realized they didn't want him.
if we
So-
ever trade
No, it was
Casey,
in the
you
trade
can
to
keep
begin with
Casey.
that it was for him. Or they just
So-
didn't know who this. So they said player to be named, but they didn't know who this
Yeah, and
player
then he
would be.
showed up, and they're like, "Oh, this guy sucks."
So it'd be like, oh, you're the
Send
player
him
to be
back.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. He played
Ah.
15 games for the Mets and was awful.
So they
Yep.
do the player
And
to
then
be
they send
named
him back.
as like a safety thing, in case they don't like the player.
No.
So they can send them
This
back.
has only happened 3 times in baseball history.
Ah.
You do the player to be named later thing just to do it like
Just
as a
so
way,
they-
it's a money. It does
Because
it
they
for
don't
money.
know. They don't know what player.
Well, like you have an idea. One time it actually was Trey Turner was the player to be named later, because there was this old rule when he was traded from the Padres to the Nationals,
Yeah.
where if you were drafted, you couldn't be traded within a certain time frame after you were drafted, and so he had to be named later in a trade.
Yeah. If
So
I was,
sometimes it's for accounting reasons, for like money reasons.
if I was the other
Goes
team,
back to your freaking business conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was the other team. I don't know if I'd like that because then you don't know who you're gonna get.
Well, you agreed
You
to
have
it.
an idea.
They're
You
usually
get a
like
list.
just like
Uh-huh.
really crappy prospects.
You get a list of 5 guys.
Yeah.
Okay.